Welcome to Inside the U, and today we're counting down the highest-ranked Miami Hurricanes in the NCAA Football video game series by EA Sports.
He passes it. Intercepted. Miami sets up in the eye.
For this list, we're looking at the highest overall rankings with the speed rating as a tiebreaker. The series includes the games titled NCAA Football and does not include Bill Walsh College Football or College Football USA, games which began the series in the 90s, or players from the historic teams featured in the games. There are a ton of great Hurricanes included in the game, but these are the best. Who were your favorite players? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Allen Bailey, defensive end on NCAA Football 11. Bailey was an athletic freak at the University of Miami, wreaking havoc on quarterbacks and running backs, playing different spots along the defensive line during his career. In this game, he was at his best at defensive end from the left side. He was always a guy that you could use to get to the quarterback and make big plays. Number 9, Kaleas Campbell. The big-time defensive end with a monster frame started his career at the University of Miami, a prospect from Colorado who did big things as a Hurricane, including posting 10.5 sacks during one of the seasons and then earning a monster rating in this game. Campbell went on to have a successful career in the NFL and is certainly one of the best Hurricanes to play defensive end.
They'll make the sack.
The protection just broke down there.
I'll tell you though, Kirk, it's hard to keep this end away from the quarterback.
Number 8, Quatrain Hill, a fullback on NCAA 2005. He is the first entry in this list that might surprise you. Hill had a really high rating as a 96. He was a very versatile fullback, very athletic. He could lay down blocks and come up with big runs as well as catch passes in the backfield. The very versatile player certainly was an asset in this game and someone that you could use in a variety of ways. Number 7, Brandon Meriweather, a safety from Apopka with a 96 overall rating. He was an absolute dynamite on the game. The very hard-hitting safety also did good against the pass, and he had really good speed, which made him a very dynamic player in the game. You can move him up close to the box or defend the pass. Either way, Brandon Meriweather was a great safety and really solidified your secondary. Number 6 is number 6, Santana Moss, wide receiver in NCAA Football 2001. During these first 4 games of the NCAA Football series, they did not have overall rankings, but Moss, his overall average rankings on the 5 attributes was a 96, including a 96 speed, making him one of the fastest Hurricanes to ever appear on the NCAA Football video game series. Moss was a dynamic returner, big-time player who stepped up in big-time games, and it's no surprise to see him on this list. Number 5, Kellen Winslow, the tight end from Miami, the John Mackey Award winner, was an absolute big-time threat in the passing game in NCAA 2004, representing his final year at the University of Miami. He was one of the most dynamic offensive players in his era and one of the most highly rated offensive players on the series. He's a guy that you could line up in different ways, and he was a big-time threat in the red zone and could make a number of big plays.
This quarterback likes his tight end. He looks for him and uses him as a safety valve, Kirk.
Number 4, Antrel Roll, cornerback, NCAA Football 2005. The big-time playmaker, could defend the deep pass, could stop the run, and he moved all around his career from corner to safety, but in the game he was a corner, and he was an absolute lockdown corner. It was almost impossible to throw on Antrel Roll. The guy just made big-time plays all over the field. Number 3, safety Sean Taylor, 97 overall, one of the best players to ever play at the University of Miami and one of the most popular. The hard-hitting safety could meet you in the box. He could also defend the pass, rack up a number of interceptions, and it's no surprise to see him at the top of the list as one of the best Hurricanes to ever play. Taylor made it happen no matter where he was on the field, and you certainly can move him around and play him in different spots.
Not much a receiver could do that time.
You're right. Nice defensive play, and the key here is the defenders.
On the field. The quarterback
Number
in the
2,
shotgun.
Kenny Phillips, safety in NCAA Football 08. He's a 97 overall with the 93 speed, giving him the edge. In the defensive backs, a number of historic ones, but Phillips gets the edge because of his speed. Great tackling ability as well. He could do it all from the back end. And when you have a player like Kenny Phillips in the back, it is extremely tough to pass against. And Phillips certainly showed up as a big-time player out of Carroll City High School. Before we get to number 1, let's look at some honorable mentions. Offensive tackle Eric Winston was a 96 overall in NCAA Football 06, an elite tackle at the University of Miami. Ken Dorsey, fan favorite at quarterback, championship-winning quarterback, throws the deep ball to Andre Johnson, but Ken Dorsey was a 96 overall, making him the best quarterback in the NCAA football series to play at Miami.
And he gets the touchdown. And did that play ever develop nicely?
Defensive tackle Vince Wilfork, another 96. It was almost impossible to run against Wilfork. He went on to have a long career in the NFL, but in NCAA football, 2004, he was an absolute beast before going on to be a first-round draft pick.
Brad, the defense had that play read and sealed it off from the get-go.
And finally, left guard Vernon Carey, another 96 overall. He paved the way for a number of really good running backs, including Frank Gore. He was always tough in the run game. And finally, number 1, William Joseph, a defensive tackle who went on to be a first-round draft pick. And a surprise to some, but in NCAA football 2003, Joseph was an absolute monster. And 98 overall, the only 98 overall player in the NCAA football series for the Hurricanes. And he was tough against the run. He could plow through the offensive line, get to the quarterback, stop the run. He could do it all up front. I just want to thank everybody for checking out the highest ranked Miami Hurricanes in NCAA football video game series history. If you like this series, if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. There are plenty more content like this featuring the video games and the Miami Hurricanes. And also, for all your coverage of the Miami Hurricanes, check out InsideTheU.com. You can follow me on Twitter at InsideTheU. Thanks again for watching, and take care.